What's up guys, Rated Designs here, and today we have a new tutorial. It's called the Explosive Grid Text. As you guys can see, I have these cool looking grid checker type thing coming out of the text. Now this is done in Cinema 4D, of course. I hope you guys really enjoy this tutorial. So before I even start the tutorial, I like the shit out of it for the first tutorial in a while, and like the shit out of this video just because I'm about to hit 30,000 subscribers. Yes, you guys know that means 30,000 subscribers, 30,000 subscriber pack. Holy crap, get that shit hyped. It's coming out very soon. It'll be my next video after this, so definitely get that stuff hyped. Anyways, so for more tutorials and more stuff, please leave comments in the description. Or not in the description, wow, that made no sense. Leave comments in the comment section. And read the description for all of my social links. Now that we got that going on, we're going to show you how to do this text. As you guys can see, it's this really cool looking text right in here. The outer lining and stuff, you know, that's pretty pretty easy to explain. Or not, I'm sorry. That is very, I don't need to explain how to do that. It's very easy. It's just, you know, lines and glows and flares put in certain areas, and it just makes it look cooler. So, of course, here's what the text looks like without the flares and everything. Very plain. I'm going to take off all the... as you guys can see, it's just very plain right here. Cool looking. It's just a very cool looking text for anything you want to do. So I feel like, you know, I've seen people do it out there. I think it was first made extremely popular by, I think, Squins. I don't really know. I might be completely wrong. So if anybody wants to correct me, please do. But anyways, let's open up Cinema 4D, guys. And let's just, you know, start out with our mode text. Now, of course, there are going to be a plugin that you are going to need. It's 100% needed. If you don't have this, you're not going to be able to use this, and it's not going to work. Actually, I take that back. You may not need it. It just depends on what you want. So, of course, the text you're going to want to use about 300 depth. Caps on this one, you're going to want to put 1. And we're going to go with a new object, or, you know, of course, a different font. You know, with font, you're going to kind of want something crazy, like blocky, something like this. Very blocky, easy to, you know, read, but at the same time, looks really sleek and nice. I think this will work. Maybe we'll do something like this. Maybe not. Alright. This one should work. So, anyways, you can do this with any color. I just tend to like to use it with this black. And we're going to do two things. So I'm going to duplicate this layer just so you guys know. Put a color on it. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to use a blue just for the hell of it. But we're going to stick to the first layer first. So we're just going to uncheck this one. And it won't be there anyways. So, of course, if you want to just click. Alright. We have our black text. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to use a plugin, Gribler. And here's the Gribler plugin. You're going to want to take your Gribler. What Gribler does is usually just makes a cool outside lining. I'll try to render this as fast as I can for you, just to show you a little, you know, what it kind of looks like. Nothing too, you know, to the extreme, as you guys can see. It just kind of makes a cool looking extrude nerve. On the tops, you guys can see that it gives like little, you know, weird poking out things and stuff. Just kind of cool to the caps and stuff like that. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to go to our base, and we're going to move the bevel down to about 1. And we're going to move the height down to about 1 as well. And the max we're going to put about 5. And the reason we're going to do this is it just adds more of an outer shell to everything, shall I say. Now, secondly, what we're going to do is we're going to take our mode text, and down here in caps, you're going to have type. Now, you're going to want to switch that n-gons to quadrangles and rectangular grid. Now, if you click on it, it's going to show that this is rectangular grid. Now, if you render it, it's going to automatically have your grid, and it's just going to have this cool looking grid on it, and it's going to be cool looking. I'll show you. And as you guys can see, the cool looking grid. Now, that's always cool and that's always fun, but the coolest part is throwing a random effector on it. So we're going to take our plugins, or not plugins, we're going to go into MoGraph effector and add a random effector, and we're going to put it over our Gribler. Oh, I'm so sorry, that is the wrong way to do it. Make sure you're not selected on the text. Make sure you're selected on Gribler, MoGraph, random. I'm going to put it over the MoGraph, put it over the text, and we're going to go to deformer, and we're going to switch it to, oh, I'm sorry. We're going to make sure this is just over the Gribler, and we're going to switch it to deformation to point. Switch the effector down to about 5, and what it does is it explodes the grid a little bit more. I'm going to try to get you a really quick render of it, just, you know, to kind of give you guys a little look on what it looks like. But this is a really good tutorial just because I really haven't seen many out there. The Gribler plugin is so diverse and so, you know, it's used for many different things, and I think this plugin especially is going to be something that I could see in the new banner designs, because it's just it's a unique thing. So I've been doing many 3D banners. I've been doing mostly 2D stuff because I just like the look of them, and it's a lot harder to work with 2D stuff, but this is what we have so far. And as you guys can see, I don't know if you can see very well, but right in here, the squares are starting to, instead of just popping straight out, they are going sideways, different ways, and all that different stuff. Now, of course, you can switch around the effector right here, and you can make it huge, you can make them small. I mean, it really just depends on what you want. Now, the deformer, I think you can switch them like polygons and objects. I just usually use point. Polygon works just as well, especially if you're using a shape. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take Gribler, or, well, not Gribler, my other text that I made, and I'm going to take the cap, I'm going to make it 3 and 3, and I'm going to make it half the size of what it usually is, so 150, and I'm just going to move it back. That's it. Pretty simple. And then we're going to take plugins, Throwsy, and we're just going to make about 25. And especially if you want a multicolored text, this is really kind of a cool thing to do. Personally, this is something I've been using a lot. It's a cool new style that I think a lot of people don't use. So you're just going to Throwsy this text. This is just, you know, an add-on of what it is. And I'm going to show you with my other text what you're going to have. So after you know, of course, use your Throwsy, refactor, random, and maybe make it about 75. Make sure it kind of explodes a lot. I mean, you really want this thing exploding. I'll be 100% honest with you. This is going to be, you really want this thing exploding. So what we have here is the Gribler text. Of course, you guys see the exploding parts on the outside and right here. So what I'm going to do is I actually have a prior one I was doing for a, I think it was an Obey guy. He wanted something. His name was Maxi. And I did one, I think I still have the, yes, I have the render here. And this is kind of what you get. It's very dark, especially if you use a solid color, so I might actually switch to a different one. I'm going to do one that I think I did for EXO, another Obey EXO guy. Here we go. And what we do, hold on one sec, guys, is we have, right here, this is what you're going to get. It's going to develop something like this. It's going to have these cool looking, and if I zoom in real quick, I just will for you guys, is you guys can see these cool grids. Instead of just popping straight out, they're going all different angles and being bent and stuff like that. And it just kind of is a cool effect instead of just doing, you know, a grid effect with without a random effector and exploding and stuff like that. And of course the Throwsy in the background. Just kind of looks cool. So the layer style you're going to want to use for this is, I use a gradient overlay, and I don't use this black. If you don't want, I have a preset that is just like a, it's like a dark gray. But what I could do, and I'll show you, is like if you get one like this, actually I'm sorry, it starts out like this. You just want to take this and find, you know, a happy medium gray. You want to flip it to reflected. So, and, you know, of course, reverse it. And you're just going to want to switch to overlay. And it makes this a lot cooler. Once you have that, you're just going to rasterize the layer and duplicate it. And then you're going to go to Filter, Filter Gallery, Stylize Glowing Edges. Actually, I'm going to Filter, Filter Gallery. And the glowing edges, that you're going to want to keep your edge width 1, edge brightness 7, and your smoothness 9. Hit OK, and then you're just going to lower the opacity to about 25, and then just merge down. That's kind of it for that. And then for some people, I would definitely recommend doing it. Use oil paint. In my settings for these, stylization 2.28, cleanliness 1, scale 3.91, bristle detail 2.71, a angular direction 300, and my shine 1.3. And you just hit OK. Now, of course, you're probably going to want to brighten areas up. So for me, I just kind of take a new layer, create, just make a nice white overlay here, nice white brush, and you just kind of want to go over the more or less the inside of it. Try not to mix the outsides with it. I mean, you're going to want to, but that's later on. And you're just going to hit overlay. And then, of course, if we take a new layer and make a black, which a lot of people like to work on black canvases, this is kind of what you're getting. I'll zoom out a little bit. You could use a clipping mask too, so you don't get that outer thing. And you just kind of merge down. And this is kind of what you get. This is the coolest text in the world, in my opinion. And on here, of course, I just added, I used the pen tool and just put different lines right here and added an outer glow. My settings for an outer glow, I've made, I think it was 100% on any color and just 10 for the distance or the spread or whatever it was. Size, yeah, size 10, 0 for the spread. And then my opacity, I reduced it to about 75. And then I made an overlay of just green to, give it that burst of color again. But yeah, that's basically the tutorial, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Here's just your little text. Looks really cool, in my opinion. But I thought it would definitely help out some people that are, kind of stuck in a rut and not really knowing what to do. So here's a really cool tutorial. I would like to say thank you guys for 30,000 subscribers. I can't, thank enough. The people that do still support me, that have been there since day one, you guys know who you are. Really makes me feel like I'm wanted, and I really am wanted here. And lately, I haven't been wanting to upload to YouTube because I don't get any views. And, I know I'm complaining about it, but the thing is, 30,000 subscriber channel, I used to be getting a shitload of views, and I'm not. And YouTube has really screwed over a lot of channels, and it's not very fun anymore. But, to find the motivation back in me, it's awesome, And I've met somebody who really kind of, gave me that inspiration again. And it's pretty awesome. But definitely check out everything you guys can. My new episodes and all that stuff on Obey. Keep checking out those channels and stuff like that. I really would like to give a really big shout out to two guys, Shakur, Obey Shakur, and Zerk. So those two guys, there'll be annotations on the screen for their channels. So check them out. They're really good editors, and they're awesome when it comes to tutorials and stuff like that. So definitely check them out. Of course, like the shit out of this video, and get hyped for that 30K pack, guys. Thanks again. Deuces.